Hi there, this is Brad. I thought I would try something just a little bit different, just to break down some of the work that's been done so far in terms of the combat. So if you note on this screen right here, we see our insects flying on our bridge, and we could go to attack them right now, but instead I'm going to hit F3, and I'm going to see Ye Old Combat Debug Menu. And this was created just to simplify the rapid creation of combat in all different scenarios, including our dungeon combat, which has some wonderful names such as Surrounded Exit Right and Rat Surprise. And then some that you're probably familiar with as well, such as your swamps and your glades, the boats. And today we're going to use the big bridge. And we're going to put a couple of trolls on the bridge, and we're going to put a couple of wizards with those trolls. And then we have the choice between creating dungeons or creating a world combat, because that's how the game divides it. So we're going to create world. And here we have a party of 6, and within those 6, we have 4 equipped with magic axes, which we know is the most OP weapon in the entire game. And we have a couple melee, 1 barehanded and 1 with 3 different melee weapons, including a spike collar and a spike shield. A couple things that you might note right off the bat is in the bottom we have what I've called the initiative bar. This is something that you can disable or will be able to disable in the future if you think that it's a little cheesy. I personally think it's kind of wonderful. And what it does is it just tells you the order of attack, allowing you to better strategize exactly how you want to play out your round. And your enemies will appear there as well. So if we had insects, for example, they would attack relatively quickly because they have very high dexterity. So we have our avatar, he's number 1, and I'm just going to hit A, just like we always would. And the avatar has magic axe, and so you can see all these green squares, because the magic axe can literally hit anywhere on the entire board. And we're going to select this wizard, and just like the regular game, we're going to hit A, and he has missed. Something I should tell you is that the enemy combat is not yet completed / started, so you're not going to see the enemies move beyond their looping animations, and you're not going to see them attack, although it will say that they are going to move. Now we have our good friend Gweno, and she's working with her bare hands. If I go to attack, I am limited in my, just like in the original game. But you'll also notice that the fighter right here, who I believe is Shamino, is highlighted green, because as you may or may not be aware, you can attack your own party if you choose to, just like you would if you're charmed. But if you're particularly mean, you could attack your own party member. Okay, so now it's Shamino's turn, and I'm going to hit A, and we have the option of anybody here, of course, because he's running, he's using the magic axe. So I've added an interesting feature, which is tab. I'm not going to say this is original by any means, but basically it cycles through the enemies and just makes it a little bit easier. Say you really didn't care about the enemy, who they were, you just wanted to attack quickly, so you're just going to tab and then hit enter. Now we have YOLO with our magic axe, and we have the same choices. I could hit A, and then he could attack whomever he chooses, or I can hit the tilde or apostrophe key up in the top left next to the number 1, and that's our quick attack. As we can see here, he's attacked a wizard, although the animation's not in to show who he attacked, and that will come. He's attacked the wizard, and it automatically takes care. It hits A for you, and it attacks them right away. Then we have our good friend Joffrey, or Jeffrey, depending on how you like to pronounce it. He has 3 weapons. He's got the spiked helm, he's got the mace, and he's got the spike shield. And we're going to attack our own guy, and we just grazed YOLO, just as a point of demonstration. And then we got Julia out in the back, our faithful tinker, and we're going to attack a wizard. And now you'll see we're cycling through the enemies as they attack. They showed up in the initiative list on the bottom, and obviously it claims that they moved, which they have not. That's my next feature to implement. So this is where it gets really fast. I've seen other games that essentially have an auto mode, and we might get to that point eventually, but I thought a happy medium would be the quick attack. See there? Boom. We just killed that wizard. Gweno has bare hands. She's got to get closer. Shamino, YOLO, Joffrey's got to get closer. Julia, boom, kills the wizard. And then it basically just does a little bit of math, tries to find whoever's closest. And then we're going to go to our magic axe. Perfect, moving forward. And as we all know, the magic axe is completely overpowered. It's wonderful. Nobody's going to reach that troll before we kill him with our magic axes. Oh, you know, as I say that, he's not going down very quickly. So, let's get, there he is. Okay, so our good friend the troll is dead. We now have an empty map. As everybody is probably aware, or may not be, that you can either exit the stage at this point, so you can just leave the stage, or you can hit escape for a quick escape, just to save a little bit of time. This works on all the open world maps and doesn't necessarily work on the dungeon maps, because the direction in which you leave in a dungeon map matters, but maybe there's something we can do there to make that a little bit easier. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit escape. And they all escape. Then we're left with Ye Old Battle Report. So this is another quality of life improvement that I've added. Just really lets you understand how you were advancing and who did the work, right? So here's the experience you've gained for each character. Here's their current experience levels. Here's how many they killed, which we can see they were worth 3 experience each, which may be just not quite accurate, but bear with me. How much damage you did to them, and the damage that you yourself took. Of course, since our enemies don't attack back right now, we've taken 0 damage. And then we return to our overworld. And that's basically the combat in a nutshell right now. So there's quite a few things that we still have to implement. Obviously, the monster AI spells, which I haven't even touched yet. So not only will I have to do combat spells, but I'll have to implement the spell system, which I've managed to escape up until now. Potions, a ton of stuff. But really, really exciting, and a ton of time was spent just focused on actually getting the basic combat system up and running. Here we have the ye old debug menu, which is a more general purpose debug menu compared to the combat one. It has some just simple function that just really accelerate the testing, such as a teleport. So to quickly get from town to town, it'll even teleport you into the town quickly. You can change the time of day very quickly. That'll change, so that'll change everybody's schedule immediately. You'll see, say it was the middle of the day, and then you make it the middle of the night. People immediately start to adapt to their new schedule. And setting up your provisions. Nothing overly exciting within this. Okay, so just a few minor highlights. The plus minus buttons were added to lower or speed up the keyboard input speed. We now have zoom in and zoom out with the mouse wheel, which is just a fun addition. The feature of attacking people in stocks or bed will murder them now, which is definitely part of the original game. You can look at your karma with Control K. And lastly, carpets and horses now go in all 4 directions. And this is a little bit different than the original game. But when I had my last update, that's one of the main things I heard is, hey, if you go down with a carpet or down with a horse, can you go in that direction? And the answer is now yes, you can go, because in the end, it's just 3D models. So we can go in whichever direction we like. So I have to implement the monster AI, including movement, attack, and special abilities. So this includes things like ghosts disappearing, could be slime dividing, wisps teleporting, etc. So a single enemy can have multiple abilities through this masking. Monsters should spawn and seek you out in the overworld or the underworld. So as you travel, you would expect to find certain monsters, and you expect them to pursue you. Player characters should be able to cast combat spells. So, in other words, I need to implement spells. I haven't done that whatsoever yet, and we expect combat spells to be, healing spells, as well as fields or fireballs, or whatever happens to be. Next up, we have spell and attack animations. So, as you saw in the previous demo, I attack something, but I don't actually see the attack or the spell. So through this, you're actually going to see visually what you just cast. People should be scared of a murderer, and guards will want to arrest them. So as noted earlier, we have you can kill somebody in bed, you can kill somebody in the stocks, but if you do that, people will be scared of you, similar to when the Shadow Lords visit the village or town, and the guards will want to arrest you and attack you, and you can either go peacefully or you can get your butt kicked. And then when you die, and you will die, we all know that, you will need to be resurrected and brought back home. So LB is going to, knock a little bit of experience out, and he's going to bring you back to his castle safe and sound. So we need to implement that. There's going to be more minutia in there that I'm going to need to implement, but there's the bulk of it, and that's really what makes up combat in Ultima 5. As always, thank you so much for the encouragement and support. This has been a wonderful and fun project that I've been working on for a couple of years now, and frankly, I probably have a few more ahead of me, but continue to make progress. I'm really excited about that. If you do like this content, please like and subscribe. I'm happy to continue to send it out. Please check the description for links to my Twitter and the blog, which has more detailed information as well. And I can't wait to deliver more content in the future. Also, please let me know if you like or dislike the voiceover component. I know it can be a bit wordy, but it seemed like at this time the best way to describe the work instead of just throwing text up on the screen. So thank you so much.